Hey, what's up guys? I have a battle against Tyfrosion 2 from the Dragon's Den. And this is kind of like my comeback video. I did upload a little thing for my friend PKD just to advertise his breeder gang, but this is more of my comeback battle from getting my new computer. So this is OU against my bro Tyfro, and yeah, I made this team a while back, probably like 2 weeks ago or something, and it's been working pretty well. I got it up to like 1880 on Showdown without even really laddering at all, which is pretty good. I'm gonna see if I can get it up into the 2000s maybe. I don't know, but I start off with my Rotom. He starts off with this Rotom. I go straight for the Volt Switch. It does a good amount of damage. Pretty sure it's the same exact set that I'm running, but whatever. I'm gonna go out in my Moongus just to tank whatever that Rotom has. It goes for the Volt Switch, which is pretty much what all Rotom do, and does absolutely nothing. Not that I care, because I can just get anything back from that regenerator. So he goes to his Heatran here, and thankfully I was playing pretty well starting this beginning of the game. He goes for the Stealth Rock. I predict that and go for the Spore, which is huge for this team because I'm pretty sure that Heatran is the single biggest threat to this team. I have been screwed up by so many Heatran, it's insane. I just have nothing to hit it with. Rotom is okay, but it can't even like 2-hit KO it with Hydro Pump, and you're bound to miss like 2 out of the 5. So it's just not really reliable. So off of that, I switch into Metagross as he goes into Scizor. Not really a good matchup for me, but I just decide to set up my Stealth Rocks as soon as possible in the game, just because Stealth Rocks are awesome and they're the best move in the game and stuff, but you guys already know that. And he goes for U-turn, does well over a half. Kind of unfortunate, but yeah, you know, it happens. So he goes out into a Moongus. I don't really want to get my Metagross to sleep, so I'm going to switch out into my Fortress, use it as sleep fodder, and just go from there. I wasn't really sure what he was going to do. I had a feeling he was going to stun Spore. I don't want anything paralyzed, so I'm going to stay in with my Fortress. And I think I went for the Spikes, not that it really mattered because I was asleep, but I went for Spikes and he used Hidden Power Fire. I don't even know why. I have no idea why, because Amoonguss just doesn't have the power to hold Hidden Power Fire. I mean, unless you put like 200 EVs in special attack, it's not going to be able to do much. And most, like, Ferrothorn's a big threat, and that's it, most of the time it's in rain, so I don't really get it. I just don't. So I got into my Rotom. Pretty much, I think I was I don't know what I was doing, but I went into my Rotom. I'm gonna go for the Volt Switch again. I'm pretty sure he didn't expect us to be running the same set, but at the time I was pretty sure we were running the same set. So I was just gonna go for the Volt Switch anyway. I didn't really care if he outsped or I outsped, but it ended up working out in my favor because he did go for the Pain Split, and I guess that worked out well because I didn't really have that much more HP than him. So I'm gonna go out into my Moongus because it basically walls Rotom pretty well, and he's gonna go for the Will-O-Wisp, which I kind of found weird. I predicted him to switch, so I went for the Stun Spore. But paralyzing the Rotom is just as good for me, but Rotom isn't really that big of a threat to this team, so it's okay. It's really just whatever. I don't really care. So I'm going to go for the Giga Drain because I can now outspeed. Trying to take it out, but unfortunately it doesn't quite make it just because Amoonguss once again does not have the special attack. It just doesn't. Can't be offensive at all. Okay, so he's going to go for the Volt Switch. He's going to do nothing. Maybe he can be offensive choice picks. I'm digressing here. I need to keep going. Okay, so he goes out into his Reuniclus. I'm obviously not gonna stay in there with my Amoonguss because my Amoonguss is just gonna get 1-hit KO'd by it. So I'm going into my Metagross. I'm just gonna try to pursue traffic, kind of speculate what set he's running here. He goes for the Psyshock. This Metagross doesn't do anything. Quad resist. It's okay. So I'm gonna go for this Pursuit here. No, I don't go for the Pursuit here. I go for the Meteor Mash, predicting him to stay in. And then I was going to go for the Pursuit, but that didn't work out well because he just went into his Rotom as death fodder to my Stealth Rock, which is okay because I kind of needed the extra HP, which you'll be seeing later, I guess, but I didn't want to spoil it for you, but I just did whatever. He goes into Scizor, and I switched out from my Metagross into my Fortress, just because I didn't really want anything else to take a U-turn. I was just being like weird, I don't know. But yeah, my Metagross, my Fortress, that is down to like 27, and he goes into his Reuniclus. Now, I was kind of just leaving it in a die. I had a feeling he would start setting up, but I was pretty confident that my Metagross could take it enough. It was probably false confidence and I shouldn't have had it, but I had the confidence. So I go for the Volt Switch and I wake up, which is awesome. So I'm able to switch out, see that that actually did a whole lot more than I thought it would, and you look at it and it's like a tiny thing, but it did do a lot more than I thought it would, and that kind of leads me to believe it's more of a defensive just because I outsped, which I also found really weird. So yeah, I go for Pursuit on this thing and it does absolutely nothing, which makes me scared because I don't really have that many strong, dominant special attackers on this team, which is not good because now that thing is a huge threat. But thankfully he does miss the Focus Blast, which works out really well, and then he misses another one, which is just like, I was happy about this. He was getting kind of mad about it, but you know, it doesn't really matter what he thinks because I'm narrating the battle. Yeah, I go for the Meteor Mash again, and I get the attack raise, which is awesome, and he goes for the cover. He misses like Focus Blast like 3 times. I don't know, I would have been really mad, but you know, I'm just going to embrace it in this situation. I'll be mad when it happens to me. So, yeah. So, I'm pretty much going to be able to take him out with Meteor Mash. So, he's going to switch out into his Scizor. And another kind of hacksy thing, I'm going to stand by my opinion and say that this does not matter. So, I go for the Meteor Mash right here. Brings him down like 1 HP, and I get a critical hit. But the reason I think it doesn't matter was because that Meteor Mash would have taken it down enough where I could have taken it out with an Earthquake. And he made the argument that he could switch out his Heatran that has a balloon into my Earthquake, but his Heatran is asleep, so I don't really get where he was going there, I don't know. But yeah, he goes into his Terrakion, and it goes for the close combat because his Terrakion is Scarfed. I was pretty sure that I could take it, assuming it was Scarfed, just because he had a Banded Scizor on his team. He's a pretty standard guy. He's not really going to be running 2 Choice Band Pokemon on one team. But yeah, so I tank the close combat like a boss and take it out with an Earthquake. So his Heatran has a balloon here. I'm going to have to go for the Meteor Mash, break the balloon, and then go for the Earthquake, hopefully without this Heatran waking up, which would be horrible because I don't want Metagross to die. So yeah, thankfully he stays asleep. I go for the Earthquake and easily taken out. This is around the point where I realized that I could pull off something great here. I could actually pull off a specially defensive Metagross sweep, not set up or anything, taking out like the majority of his team. I don't know the actual number. I may post it. But yeah, Metagross is already the MVP. Why not just finish it off and get a sweep? So, Azumungus goes for the Spore on my Metagross, but I was being really stubborn, and I decided that I was going to stay in and just wait until I wake up. And I was going to finish off the sweep with my Metagross. I was determined to do this. So, he goes out into his reunit because I'm still asleep. Once again, I'm being stubborn, so I'm not going to switch out. I'm just going to let him set up, let him Focus Blast, do whatever he wants to do, and I'm just going to keep trying. So he goes for the Focus Blast. He does hit it this time, which is awesome. He's 1 for 4, and it does a lot more than I wanted it to. Those Focus Plasmas plainly mattered, but I don't care because I'm embracing them. I'm not really sure that's how it works, but oh well. So, I'm still asleep. It's like 3rd turn. He goes for another Focus Blast, still hits, and it does a little bit less. I think that was like min-max thing, but it does a little bit less, thankfully. Yeah. And finally wake up on like the 4th turn, go for the Meteor Mash, which is going to be a 2-hit KO on his Reuniclus, and I get an attack raise. Doesn't really matter, because I can take out anything else that he has. And he goes to the Focus Plus. I thought this was going to heal, but I live with 1 HP. That just made my night right there. It was like 11:30, and I was so happy that I lived with 1 HP. And I go with Meteor Mash Metagross, and Reuniclus is now dead. And now all I have is a Amogus. So that's pretty much a good game. Got a Metagross sweep. Incredibly lucky Metagross sweep, I may add. What a Metagross sweep is a Metagross sweep. So good game, Tyfro. And remember to comment, like, and subscribe. See you later, guys.